on my own journey of welcoming in more miracles and leaning into what does it really look like to bring in the things that I really want. Law of attraction never really sat good in my stomach. It never felt good in my Christian roots. And I wanted to understand why. I wanted to understand what God was showing me about my ability to bring that abundance in. And what is abundance?
Welcome to the 203rd episode of Angels Don't Lie with your host, Jeanne Street. Today's episode is a heavenly experience where you will receive sacred wisdom, a guided meditation, and angelic healing. This episode is designed to help you feel more joy and practice a grateful, loving heart and an abundant mindset. Jeanne Street, God-based spiritual medium, healer, and author, shares her God-based method for attracting your desires by learning to connect and access your light room in heaven. Tune in to today's episode to learn the steps for how to co-create with the divine and manifest your dreams to come to fruition.
When she smiles at you, she'll say, "Angels don't lie. Angels don't lie. Angels don't lie. No, no, angels don't lie. Angels don't lie. No, 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 no."
So for me, that's what I did. I started doing this deep dive into my meditations, talking to my angels, and working with frequency, which is love. And that's what I do as a healer. I work with, and as a medium, I'm leaning into frequencies, energy, in order to channel, in order to bring a message, to share something that's going to really shift someone's life. And I never really fully understood the value of this. I don't think until the past 10 years of like, wow, this is bigger than I really believed it could be. And for instance, I'll give you just a little smidgen. You may follow me on social media, and you might know that a dear friend of mine passed away on Christmas morning. And Elisa was a beautiful, bright soul. And our paths crossed very randomly. She came on Instagram when I was doing a live reading, and I read her, and then that was it. We became like fast friends. And after that, we started to work together. She joined my team, and well, in a way, she had her own business, so it was more like freelance. I did work with her, but she actually came to my house, and we met in person. The day she came, I got the message to make her this vegetable lasagna. I didn't think anything of it because it happens to me all the time. So I just whip up this veggie lasagna, and I'm, making my cashew ricotta, and I'm slicing my vegetables, and it's vegetable noodles. There's, it's just this beautiful dish. And she comes in and she sits down, and then I have, a beautiful drink for her. I had made a fresh pressed juice and some hot tea, and then this lasagna. So she sits down and she's overwhelmed. I can clearly see like she's trying to hold back these tears. And I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she said, "I know we don't know each other that well, but every year for my birthday, and I just celebrated my birthday, my mom would make me lasagna." And her mother had passed away from breast cancer, and she was working on dealing with her own breast cancer. And she said, "You made me lasagna. You made me, how did you know to make me lasagna?" And to me, there was a miracle moment right there. And that was also a manifestation for her, because she needed love. And so she was putting that out in a way, in a frequency, in a vibe. And that God sent it to me, and he delivered it to me, and it came true. So that's what a miracle is. And that's what manifestation is. It's leaning into frequencies. It's, you put it out, you put out an energy all the time. And when we are hard on ourselves, when we're struggling, when we are in doubt and shame, and we're separated from the union, the unconditional love that God has for us, well, that's when we get really strung out and lonely and sad, and we get further away from our truth. Make sense? Who's with me on that? Mhm. That's when we start experiencing more lack, because we're really good at leaning into the low vibration frequencies. So frequency in heaven terms is holy light, is love. That's what it is. It's nothing abstract, foreign, something that you're not used to. It is love. So you know that feeling of holding a baby and feeling that innocence in our hands and our arms, and just, you can't explain, you feel love, even if it's not yours, your child, right? Right? Are you there with me? Can happen with an animal. It's an innocent life. All of a sudden you're holding it and you're feeling that vibration, that frequency. That is love. So we all know what it feels like, but it's not the thing we seek every single day. The thing we seek every day is what's familiar. It's what's been wired into our brain. So we can go into some neural pathways. We can go into, how we create our reality. The traumas, the things that stay present, ever present, instead of turning to maybe some scripture, turning to possibility, turning to, I can dial in more love. And I wanted to do this because I wanted to seal the deal for myself too. Like, I wanted to do some research and I wanted to dive in with a group of like-minded people to say, like, your desires are not wrong. God has said this to me over and over. It's not that your desire is wrong, because we were taught this very early on. Don't want more than what you have. Right? What's your story? If that something is like that for you, you shouldn't ask for more than what you have. Maybe you should be quiet and sit in a corner. What is your story? So let's identify with that really quickly, because those are the things we know really well. For me, I knew that we were very fortunate growing up. I was very fortunate, but I also knew that it was my parents' fortune, their money, their what they had, right? And I better not be gloating about that. I better not be sharing that wealth that isn't mine, that doesn't belong to me, with anyone else. Does that make sense? But I was always a giver. So you know what I did? I took my Parcheesi board and I wrapped up all my pieces. I gave them to people because I knew I could give them love. I knew that if I wrapped it up, and I was this little kid, and it just symbolized love. That's all it was. It wasn't the whole game, right? So I want you to identify where abundance, money, has become not a vibrant thing in your life, where it isn't a norm. Instead, the lack is. Because I think it's fair to say that money is probably the biggest abundant blocker that we have, right? Some people are easy to they're like, oh, I'm comfortable, I don't need more. But I'm just curious on, if that's how you're thinking, what could God really use you for? And are you holding back because more means what? More means that you're greedy? More means that you just keep asking? What does more mean? And then I'm going to read you a couple of scriptures as well, because I wanted to bring this forward, because I think it's important to see that this is pre-written for us before we get into our soul mapping. So we're going to do a couple things. We're going to do these, basically, what miracles are. That's really what I wanted to start with. A miracle is a remembrance of love and a story. So whether that comes through in a reading for me, it's delivered to someone, it's when they remember love, that's the miracle. It's not the healing, it's not receiving it's the remembrance of love, okay? Boom. Then we're going to talk about co-creating. And this is where those questions that I asked you, we're going to talk about that next. And then from there, we're going to talk about postcard visions, your soul's truth, the things that make you who you are. And then we're going to do the soul map reading for a few of you. Then we're going to do a guided meditation where you're going to all learn a method to get into that frequency of love, of expanding into the veil, and then receiving more love and more love and more love in your body, in all of your physical being. Okay. So the first reading I want to give to you, these are Paul's letters to the church. And I had read somewhere that he was in prison when he wrote these letters, which I think is really fascinating. So this first one is in chapter 1, verse 3, and it's the title of this is the Father's plan of salvation. The Father's plan of salvation. Blessed be the God and Father of our Lord Jesus, who has blessed us in Christ in every spiritual blessing in heaven. So this means, if we kind of take it down, that because Jesus lived, because Jesus walked this earth, because he was a healer, that every blessing, everything that heaven has is in accordance for us here on earth. So there is no separation between the blessings in heaven and blessing in earth. It is one, it's union, because that's what it meant when Jesus came and lived. It meant that it was connecting heaven and earth, right? And so everyone who walks in that belief is blessed spiritually. There's a well-being there. The second reading is Corinthians 9. Corinthians chapter 9, verse 8. And God, who is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things, at all times, having all you need, you will abound in every good work. I love this. I love that this is a reminder. I love that it's written and that this isn't new. And when we lean into this, we see that there's possibility. We see that the Bible is saying possibility. We're seeing the word of God is saying abundantly. I am blessing you abundantly. He's not saying, oh, only when you're good. Only during this time or only in this season. No, he's blessing you abundantly so that in all things, at all times, you will have what you need. So when we are paying attention, when we're dialed into our lack, and this is an addiction, guys, we dial into what we don't have, what is wrong, what looks wrong, what's uncomfortable. Oh, well, this is how they are. Even in relationships, we struggle. Well, she's always going to be that way. Well, here it is. It's what we're going to just keep putting back out. Does that make sense? So I think I really want you to just stay with that in all things, at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. It's talking directly to you, for your greater good. There's a miracle right there. And the next reading is from Matthew, chapter 6, verse 33. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and in all things will be given to you as well. So this is really an important one, because this is telling us, don't seek for earthbound energy. Don't look to what your neighbors have. Don't look for falsehoods. Look to me, look to heaven. Don't go to the universe. This is what's really speaking to me, especially around law of attraction. Law of attraction is great. I mean, can you call in and does it work? Yeah. But a lot of the law of attraction people teach you just to go to universe, and universe isn't heaven. It isn't God. It isn't holy. Universe has no separation from, it has a separation from heaven, because so how do I explain it? Earthbound energy is here. Below us is low vibe. This is, evil, right? So earthbound mirrors that energy back up. That's why we see opinionation and judgment and anger and all of that stuff. We see that stuff in real time. Above us is universe. Universe mirrors our earth. So not only is it going to take what's above it, which is heaven, which is, yep, there's going to be good, but it's also going to have low vibe, because it's going to connect with that judgment and opinionation. So while you might attract a large sum of money, will you be happy? Will it serve you? Will it fill you? Is that really what your soul is going to need? Is that one of your soul's truths? Curious, right? So today, this is what we're really going to plug into, is your soul's truth. And instead of going to universe, instead of working with mantras and whatever, we're going to go to heaven, and we're going to expand our energy to merge with love and just receive more miracle, more blessing. Because there is a time frame for me. There's this, I didn't write this verse down. I don't even know where it is, but there's a time and a season for everything. You know, there's a time to live, a time to die. There's a season for everything. There's a season for your calling in. There's a season for our well-being. There's a season for our miracles. And there's a season for your lessons. There's a season to learn. There's a season to heal. There's a season for forgiveness. So if we forget this, we stop being human. We're not here just to make manifest 24/7. We're here to evolve and grow. So that's our journey. That's our journey. And then this manifestation then becomes, instead of you doing something, this is a big thing, guys. This is a ginormous thing, is that you co-create with God. Most of us set out to manifest, I'm going to make it work, right? I'm going to meditate, and I'm going to chant, I'm going to do these things, and I'm going to follow this method. And then we end up, blank. And maybe we brought a little money in, or maybe we did something, but really we're not co-creating. Co-creating is how we evolve. And I do this in my job, in my work, is I co-create. I used to just make classes and do things, and I was really great. I was a really good doer, for sure. Really great at doing. I could do. My team can tell you, Jeannie can do. I can spin so many plates in the air and get so much stuff accomplished and done, but it wasn't on point. It didn't match my soul. All I was doing was providing more noise and more stuff. So co-creating with God is, I lean back, the idea comes in, I channel it, I feel it, I play with it until it becomes lifelike, and then I expand it, and then I bring it to life. Now it has a different vibration. Now it's of service. It's not just to do. So when we get in the energy of doing and trying, this is the stuff that blocks the miracles, right? So you have to take a look at that first question, which is, what does joy mean for you? What does joy mean for you? Because when we're co-creating, when we're manifesting with God, we're co-creating. We have to really know what our joy is. And if we're chasing it instead of being it, there's a problem. This is kind of what I want us to see. Like, where is the energy kind of misaligned? Your joy is so important for you to really paint it out, to identify it, to call it by name. Because our goal when we do our meditation is that you are going to identify with this, because joy is love. And we have to remember what it feels like. We have to identify it with. So I love the words. I love adding texture and color and tone to it, so you really can connect with it when we do that meditation. So the next question was, do you know, or do you have an idea what your purpose is? This is a big one. And if you don't, it's really okay. But I want to know if you think you know, or you absolutely know. It's a big question. And we don't like to get things wrong. In this last question, which is, and I can't fully grasp why they had me ask you this question, but I really like it. And I know they're going to uncover this. If you could have one thing in your life right now, what would it be? I mean, I think I know where they're going to go with this, but I was like, all right, I'll ask it. So these questions are going to lead us now to go into our next portion of this fun little program, which is postcard visions. And if you guys read my second book, Believe Angels Don't Lie, I talk about postcard visions in there a little bit. In my new book, we're going to go a little further with it, which I'm really excited about. Postcard visions are messages from heaven. And so God sends us a postcard and we get this vision in our head and we see ourselves doing something that feels really, really freaking far-fetched, like writing a book for me, really far-fetched. And you either believe it or you put it aside. And this vision, it doesn't have an energy that plays out like a Lifetime movie. Like some of us will get a vision and we'll play it out, and all of a sudden it'll play out like a Lifetime movie because it has feeling and it has doubt and it has whatever. But this postcard vision comes in and it's actually like a matter of fact, it feels flat energetically. So it's just a vision, it's just a sight. And even if you're seeing internal in your head and you just all of a sudden, or you get a message, however you receive, and it's like, oh, all right. Okay. So postcard vision, it looks different for everyone. Again, some people lean into it and believe it, and other people kind of poo-poo it and push it away, or they take it and they make it much bigger than what it really is. That can happen because we're just, energy people and so human. Because we also have this great wide open world on social media where we see other people doing things that kind of look like our postcard vision did in the beginning. And then we kind of assign a meaning to what our vision looks like. Oh, well, I'm going to write a book. I'm going to be a bestseller. Yeah. Interesting. Right. And so it takes on an energy of its own. So are you there with me? So what I want to know is, do you have one of those postcard visions that you have in your life right now that you know of? It's something that fuels you, and it's one of those desires, a desire, something you're longing for, or you're so afraid of it that you won't look at it. Like maybe you have a gift of writing and writing feels really good, but the thought of writing short stories freaks you out. Maybe you have musical skills and maybe that freaks you the fuck out, right? Maybe using your voice in a public really doesn't seem like it's what you're supposed to be doing, or being a healer, or anything. So I want you to identify with it. We're going to come into our soul map readings in just a second. So this is when we're going to really start to get some fun going on. So what is a soul map reading? It's something that I made up, after my friend Carly, who's on here. And Carly she's a beautiful healer and astrologer. And she has her video up because she's got a baby and he's 2 and he's so busy. But we had been working with a client. I had been working with one client and then she worked with them. And I was able to kind of give her the overview of what the angel showed me. And she's like, that is exactly what their chart said. And I was like, shut the front door. And she's like, no, their chart, like literally all this stuff. And so then I did it again. And then I did it again. And every time the angel showed me what was it with that person, it was this identical to their reading with her. And I was like, this is really beautiful. And I asked you those questions so you could be in the energy of your truth. Yeah. All right. So let's get ourselves in a nice, comfortable position. Feel free to have your pen and paper right by your side in case something comes up for you. So we're going to start by taking a nice deep breath in. We're going to breathe in through our nose and out through our mouth. Allowing your body to become a little bit more settled, a little more relaxed. And as I said, we're going to cycle that breath. So you're going to pay attention to coming in through the nose and then exhaling out of your mouth. We're going to do a little journey. And this journey is an inward journey and an expansion and journey. So we're going to go in through our energy centers, call in the light, and then we're going to merge with that frequency of love, like I said earlier. Bringing to mind bringing to mind first the intention of what you want to co-create with God. And that's your manifestation, what you're co-creating. Bringing to mind the desire at heart. And I do kind of want to urge you to have one thing. Don't overdo. One is good. One desire to have in our mind to be placing into this energy is what we really want to work with. So again, we're just going to move into our body. Pay attention to that breath, moving it all the way in, down past your heart center, bringing it all the way down into the sits bone, letting it like start to marinate in this root center, holding it there, pausing before you slowly, with control, allow it to exhale. And then we're going to pause on the outside before you take a new breath. And when you're ready now, a deep inhale. Following you with your internal eyesight, that breath all the way down, past your lungs, past your solar plexus, past your sacral, landing at that root center and just letting it be there. Allow your breath to just move freely, but keep your awareness on that root center. We're going to bring our awareness now down to the soles of your feet. First, the right foot. Just imagining this right sole being connected to Mother Earth, connected to your place here on Earth. Imagining that there's a light, a brilliant, bright white light that begins to open in this right sole of your foot. And as that happens, all of a sudden this energy pours from you into Mother Earth, connecting to the deep roots and connection to that crystal core, where you are provided with more love and more of God's grace, stability. And that light just travels back up into the foot, and feeling that right sole become on board, as if like you plugged in your computer, every circuit, every nerve ending, every energy center in your being just starts to light up from this right sole. You feel your toes enliven, you feel your ankle, you feel your calf, you feel it all. Now we're just going to move over to that left sole. Just take a moment to breathe, to pause, to invite that light into the left sole as it begins to open, begins to pour into the earth. Again, claiming that space, reconnecting to Mother Earth, all the way down to that crystal core. And now all of a sudden this light becomes a charge, and it rises up into the sole of your foot. And you feel it all coming on board. You feel it all enlivening. And the light's getting brighter and brighter and brighter. And you can feel it in your toes and on the top of your foot and in your ankles. And you notice both legs now as your legs and your light begins to just merge together, and it's just rising up into your knees. You feel that right knee and the left knee. And the light rises up and it moves up your thighs. It moves into your hips. You feel the left hip. And you feel the right hip. You notice that light pouring into that pelvic wall. And you notice that it feels really enlivened, and you feel the charge at the base of your spine. Again, all of the circuits coming on board, all of you being lit up with this beautiful, divine, holy Mother Earth. And it merges up into your belly, and your belly fills and it swells with this love and this light. And it moves up into your solar plexus, and it does the same. It just starts to fill all of the voids and all of the spaces with this bright, warm, honey-like light. And as it moves up into that heart center, you feel your lungs, you feel the back of your heart, you feel the front of your chest, you feel the upper part of your chest and your arms and your shoulders come on and just get all lit up with this beautiful light. And as it moves up through your neck and all of your vertebrae, you just notice an easement. And as your face covered with this light, and it just starts to let go of any tension. It moves up to that third eye in the center of your forehead, and it bursts open brightly. And that light rises all the way to the tippy top of your head. So from the tips of your toes to the tip of the crown of your head, you're engulfed with this beautiful, warm earth light. And now this beautiful mystical light from the heavens begins to pour down, this essence of holiness, of love, pouring from the heavens, connecting with the crown of your head. You feel yourself receiving as if you're under a beautiful waterfall, and it begins to pour down through all of your energy centers, pouring down through your physical body, pouring down your legs, pouring down your feet, out to the soles of your feet. It's combining and merging with that Mother Earth energy, forming more love, an infinite source of love. And just notice this light becoming so bright and so white and so shimmery. And it begins to surround your body, creating a bubble. From the heart center, you breathe in and out. From your heart center, you feel expanded. From that heart center, you can see this light becoming movable. And as you send out the breath through your heart, it connects with that bubble. And as you draw a breath in, that bubble gets brighter and bigger. And as you are completely immersed with love, surrounded with love, filled with love, you feel everything melting away. You feel all the possibilities. And you notice that desire of your heart merging with this love and this light. You feel yourself letting go of your physical being and swimming, flying, just a free feeling. So light and so airy, you become one with that light. It's as if it's like water, and it flows. You are one with love. You are one with your desire. You are one with love. And as you see it expand into the heavens, all the way to the clouds, all the way to heaven, it becomes even brighter and even shinier, even more vast. Just stay here, absorbing all of that love. All of the possibilities are available for you here. And you're receiving them this very moment. Miracle and blessings are abounding you. Take a moment now to notice you're coming back into your body. Taking your breath in, feeling yourself settle back into your physical being, noticing your legs, noticing your feet, noticing your hands, noticing your arms, noticing your head and your neck. Maybe just rolling your neck a little bit side to side. Allow your body to move a little bit. Place your hands on your chest. Just tap a little bit to feel yourself integrating fully back in. One deep inhale, exhale. Again. And one more time. And when you're ready, allow yourself to come back into this room, into this space. Allow yourself to sit forward. Come on board. Who left their being? Who left the physical body and just floated? Yeah. That's your goal. Like, if you didn't get there, that's okay, but that's your goal. And the more you do that, that's where all that possibility is going to be. That's the emergence of divine holy love, guys. You're like, it fills all of your voids. That's why it's so uplifting. When you called your desiring, was it the same desire that you thought that you had claimed, or did something new come up? What came up that maybe you're questioning? Anything? Did anything surprise you, or did it feel just great? Because when we get out of the way, that's when we see truth. Because we focus so much on the want, and that bucks us up. That closes the energy down. So it's not that your desires are wrong, it's that when we get too tight with them, but now you're knotted because you're like, I gotta have this and I gotta have that. So we want it to be open flowing. And there's an energy between trying and being. So again, like, if you can be more, and when you go out in nature's a perfect experience for you, because it's not hard and you won't try. Go for your walk, look up in the air, talk to the birds, feel the ground underneath. That to me is your meditation right now. That's because otherwise you're going to try to control it, and you're going to think, am I doing it right? Am I lining this up? Like, it's going to be too hard. I feel like go outside. That's the easy breezy for you. Just go and let go, let go, let go. The more, you don't have to try to do anything. I found this with myself too. Like, it was like, oh wait, all of this is just reaffirming that I'm trying to do something instead of me being something. And if I'm going to be, what does that look like? And what does that feel like? And what do I eat when I'm being that? So why do we resist things? Let me go into that really quick. So you're not crazy, number one, because we get used to that feeling over and over again. So it's neuroplasticity, right? Our brain is wired and remembers how to feel the way you feel, which is uptight and low, and whatever you guys are feeling, whatever the negative is feeling, or the good one. So we tend to have more wiring towards the negative, especially as healers and people that have had trauma. That's what's most familiar. So this meditation begins to open up new neural pathways to teach us to have oh, I can do this over. And the more you do it, the more the old ones start to get lower and lower and less reactive. So there's some science behind this, and I'm really slaughtering it right now because I'm not a scientist, but to the basics of it is you're rewiring your brain every time you have that feel good feeling come in, and you're teaching yourself that that's what you want more of, and you're claiming that. And when we claim that, remember, if we go back into God's plan for our salvation, if we go back to this, that he's going to bless you abundantly, so that in all things, at all times, having all that you need, you will abound in every good work. If we go back and remember, this is pre-written, this is a reminder that you were born to feel good, not to feel shame, sorrow, guilt. Those are just conditions from earth. So we have to just teach ourselves to come back in, to feel holy, Holy, holy and expansive. Definitely leaning into scripture as I'm doing this, leaning in and going to the heavens. You can make this for yourself. It's just a brilliant thing to kind of do over and over again. And the more you do it repeatedly every day, honoring and getting into that feel good feeling, well, guess what's going to happen? Your miracles are going to come, and they're going to be abounding. Every day, if you choose love over the angst. So my hot tip for you is, as you wake up in the morning, before you do anything, thank God for this day. Thank you for this brand new day. Say hello to God, say hello to Jesus, say hello to the Holy Mother, say hello to your ancestors. Prepare yourself for the day. Set the scene. Today is going to be a great day. I'm attracting miracles. Thank you, God. Then get up. Then go to the mirror, brush your teeth, look at yourself, look yourself square in the eye, and remind yourself, I was meant to be here. I attract miracles. I am a light. I am love. And do your day. Throughout your day, remember who you are. Remember the light. But throughout your day, breathe it in. Pause. Expand yourself. No one can take your light without your permission. If you are messy, that means you're a healer, that you're allowing people to take and tell you what to do instead of being supported by God, instead of honing in and owning your truth and clearing and balancing and using the tools that you guys know that went through the angel program. Like, you got to use your tools, and then run through your gratitude list at the end of the day. Thank God for everything that you can think in your mind. Thank him, thank him, thank him. Even for the hard shit, even for the things that don't make sense, thank him and say, I don't really understand this stuff right now, but I know there's a blessing in here, and I'm going to keep searching for it. God, thank you for this blessing. Thank you for another day. Thank you for those trees and that sunlight and these people here. Thank you for all of you. And what that does is that's going to shift your vibration, and that's going to open up new pathways, and that's going to reinforce the same thing, because this is what Matthew said: seek first the kingdom, seek first God. Remember, seeking first God. So in your gratitude, you're remembering that all things will be given to you as well when you seek that first, when you show that gratitude, when you remember that you are a child of God, that you are a child of God.
When she smiles at you, she'll say,